Hi, this is Dan Root with QT Equipment. Today we're going to take a more in-depth look at the Ram 5500 chassis. We posted a video a couple of weeks ago on a quad cab Ram 5500, and at that time I just hadn't got enough research done on the Ram product. We don't sell a ton of these. I would say that if you took the last 10 years of our production in the Dom 1 size, so class 5, we sell probably 92 to 95% Ford F550s, and then the remaining would be Rams, Chevys, Internationals, Hinos, and whatever else. So the Ram product is something that's been a little bit difficult for us to source in the past. So I needed some time to get my details together, and today I'm going to share with you what I've learned on the Ram 5500 product. First order of business is naming. I made a colossal mistake the last time that we did a Ram 5500 video, and I called this a Dodge Ram. I called it a Dodge Ram throughout the whole video. I even put it in the title screen. And when I sent that video out to some people for comments and to get some more research done on the chassis, the dealer and the guy from Ram Corporate called me on that right away. They said, look, in 2003, Dodge dropped the name Dodge from Ram. This is just Ram trucks. They said nobody calls it Dodge Ram anymore. I have a confession to make. There's a lot of people in our industry that still call this a Dodge Ram. So throughout the rest of this video, I have somebody off screen whose sole job is to make sure that if I say Dodge Ram, they throw a wrench at me. And I am very sorry to all the Ram professionals out there for misnaming this truck in a previous video. This is a Ram 5500, and let's talk about it. This is a customer built unit, so please ignore the dirt and the grease pencil marks. We just haven't got a chance to clean this up, and we're on a tight schedule here. The Ram 5500 comes in two chassis configurations. So you can get the standard cab, which is what you see here. You can also get the quad cab or the crew cab, which is what we showed in the other video. Ram does not currently have an extended cab option like the Ford does, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would really like it. These trucks are built in Salito, Mexico. Hopefully I got the pronunciation right on that. It's about 350 miles south of San Antonio. That plant opened up in 1996. Ram was introduced as a chassis cab option back in 2007, and the 5500 chassis came available in 2008. This is a 19,500 GVW truck, and although it looks bigger than a 550, we're going to put two side by side here in a second, it only weighs a little over 200 pounds more than a 550. And the number one reason that people are choosing the Ram 5500 product is this here, the Cummins. This is the best engine you can buy in this class. This is just a world-class engine. This engine is going to give you 360 horsepower and 800 pound-feet of torque. That's neck and neck with what you get out of the Ford Power Stroke. So inside here we've got the Cummins inline 6 engine. The number one reason that owners really like this engine, beyond being a Cummins and the durability and the reliability of this engine, is that it's very serviceable. So if you look down, you can see the ground. There's room to get in and work on this engine, and that's what a lot of owners are doing. And you look at this, Ford has the country covered in service. I don't think you need to drive very far to get a Ford F550 worked on by a Ford professional. The Ram product, however, that's been one knock against it, is that you can't just take this truck to a Dodge dealer and have them work on it. They're just not used to working on this big of trucks. When I was talking to the owners of Rams in the field, one of my questions was, what do you do for service? Two things. About half of the guys do their own service. So they're mechanics. They would much rather change the oil, change anything that needs to be repaired at their own shop, on their own time, on their own schedule, rather than drop it off and wait 3 days for somebody to take care of it. The other thing is half of the guys are utilizing other heavy truck dealers. So other Ford dealers, Cummins engine dealers, international dealers, Peterbilt dealers, they're used to working on big trucks and are more than capable of handling any service that needs to happen on this engine. The 5500 comes with a 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the drivetrains. We talked about the engine. The other big piece is the transmission. This comes with the Aisin 6-speed automatic transmission. That transmission in days gone past was kind of the weak link in the chain for the Ram 5500 product. But in talking to the Ram executives, they say that the Aisin transmission is the lowest warranted transmission in their whole organization. That transmission, it's a Japanese company, but it's built in Indiana, just about an hour south of the Allison plant. And it is, I think, 51% owned by Toyota, and those guys know something about quality. We've got the black tube steps on this truck, and that's a nice option. This truck sits about 31 inches high. So from the ground to this lip here is about 31 inches, which is doable, but if I considered myself working out of this truck for the next 10 years, I may want that extra step as I get a little older here. Those steps come in either black or chrome, and it's either about a $400 or a $500 option. Another nice thing about the Ram product is the location of the depth. You've got the depth fill right here, which is really nice because compared to the Ford, they put the depth fill that would be right in front of the rear tire there, so you're using up one of those holes for depth. We haven't done it yet, but you can order this chassis with 52 gallons in the rear, and then the midship tank would be 22 gallons. My math says 74 gallons. So you'll be able to haul a lot more fuel. Ford, for a comparison, is 40 gallons. Back at the rear axle, these come with standard steel wheels. You can upgrade to aluminum rims if you want. That's about a $1,000 option. And with all the prices that I'm throwing out here, I'm just trying to give you a ballpark for what these options cost. I'm giving you a retail list price. What you pay for that may be different depending on the dealer you're working with. The other nice thing about these rims is that instead of the typical flat gray primer look, these are a nice metallic shiny, so it gives you a better appearance than what a normal steel wheel would. The Continental tires are standard. I've heard some reports when I was talking to owners that they were chewing up front tires is one of their suggestions for improvement. We've got similar situations with Ford, and Ford runs the same Continental tires. So that may be less of a Ram thing than possibly a Continental thing. One of the customers I talked to that runs a Ram switched over to Toyo tires and was pretty happy with those. So if we get more information on tires or possible upgrades that you can get with the Ram, we'll pass that along to you. One thing we try to always spec are these front tow hooks. Our trucks are always off-road. So this is a nice, convenient way to get hauled out if you get into something you can't get out of, even with your four-wheel drive. This hood is aluminum. Ford's gone with an all-aluminum cab. Ram has elected to go with an aluminum hood, and the rest of the cab is steel, but I think this is about a 200-pound weight saving. We've got this spec'd as a basic work truck package, but you could go with a chrome bumper. You can also get these fender flares painted to match the body, and Ram offers 11 color choices. The most common is going to be white. Red is another color that's also a no-charge option from Ram, but if you went with some of the other colors, it's a slight upgrade, a couple $100 maybe, and we would paint the body to match. Inside the Ram 5500, we've got the Tradesman package trim level here. You can get a couple of different levels higher that all come with extra cost, but this is a work truck and it's made to get dirty. This is the bench seat that's a 40-20-40 split. Comes with gray as your only option there, and you get the black vinyl mats on the floor. One of the things that I really like is the extra couple inches of storage you get behind the seat. So this would be great for storing any test equipment or clothes that you need to keep warm, dry, and secure. Along with the storage behind the seat, you've got tons of storage everywhere. You've got storage inside the doors, you've got a bunch of storage here. underneath the auxiliary switches. That's really nice. There's just never enough storage in a field service truck. In this truck, you get a push button start, so you don't need to insert your key into the ignition. You just push the button and there you go. You also get power mirrors, right and left, power windows, power locks. You get a couple of charging ports, but if you wanted to get the 110 traditional outlet, I think you have to go to the luxury package, and that may not be a good fit for a field service truck. One of the things our production team really likes about the latest version Ram has put out is this electronic vehicle information cluster, which makes it a lot easier to do some of the programming that needs to be done in your truck. In the old days, we've got a long sheet of touch this wire to this wire, press the brake, all these kind of goofy things you had to do to change PTO speed, stop and start, and things like that. Now they make it really easy. So if you just press up, you'll get into the commercial settings, and to the right, it'll give you a password. Its factory password is 0000. So we'll just go across here. And then you'll be able to get into the commercial settings, so you can program your auxiliary switches, you can program your how your PTO runs, your ramp rate, things like that. So if you got into your auxiliary switches here and you went to aux 1, let's say, you could drill into that and then go down to power source and have this either be battery or ignition, so you can change that right from your console. And then you can also go to type, is either a latching or a momentary switch. So being able to change that stuff on the fly for a customer is really nice. To engage your PTO, really simple. You got a factory PTO switch. Hit it, it ramps up. In the old days, we could not use the PTO switch that came with the truck because it wouldn't re-engage. We've got a stop-start on our crane. We had to wire the PTO in a different way, and it was kind of goofy. But now with the increased upfitter friendliness that the Ram has, this PTO switch works just fine. One of the other things our production team says is sweet is this vehicle system interface module, the VSIM, that's underneath this panel here. You just pop a couple of 7mm tap screws out and you can get to it. But this gives you 50 or 70 different little things that you can program on the truck, and it happens very simply. So for example, if you wanted to have wig-wag lights on, like on a tow truck, that is very easy to program right through the VSIM, and they give you some really good documentation, does the FCA commercial team, for being able to program that. So it's become a lot easier for us to work with the Ram product, and Ram, we appreciate that. On the business side of the house, we build work trucks. They're meant to go out and do jobs and be profitable in the field. What's it like to be on the business side of a Ram ownership equation beyond just the good things about the product? The price versus a Ford 550 spec for spec is about $3,000. So this truck is about $3,000 more than a Ford F550. You're going to have to justify the cost there with maybe some additional life with that Cummins engine, or the durability that you'll get with the Cummins engine, less downtime. The availability has been strained for 5500s in the past. They are blaming it on production capacity in the plant in Mexico. If we've had a truck that's been late over the last couple of years, I'll guarantee you it's been a Ram. I've been promised that starting in 2019, they've made additional investments into the plant to eliminate some of those bottlenecks and get more product into the market. The 550s are very readily available for us. The Ram 5500, not so much, but hopefully if you're a Ram fan or a Ram dealer, that is going to change in the future. This is a 2019 model. Right now there's a mix, we're in July of 2020, there's a mix of model year 2019 and model year 2020 chassis on the ground right now. The order bank for the model year 2021 is going to open up, I think, the first week of September, and they will start building those the second week of October. Everything's subject to change because 2020 is a crazy time to live in. As you can see side by side, they're pretty comparable in size, the 5500 and the Ford F550. These are both 4x4 units, standard cab. The 5500 hood sits a little bit higher than the Ford does, and then if you measure it, the Ram sits just maybe 1 or 2 inches higher when you're getting in and out of the cab, but again, with those tube steps, it shouldn't be a problem. Upfitting on the Ram has become a lot easier over the last couple of years. As far as the PTO goes, on the 4x2s, you can mount the PTO on either the left or the right side. On the 4x4s, you can only mount that on the right side, the passenger side. And when you do that, you've got 2 options. They give you the option of being able to pull the floor mat back and install the PTO from inside the cab in a cutout, which is pretty nice if you don't have access to a lift. We've got a lift. We're able to put that up on the rack and drop the exhaust, which is really not a big deal. There's a couple of different ways that our guys like to do it. Some guys can do it in 10 or 15 minutes, dropping the exhaust to be able to get up into the PTO area that you need. All right, so let's buckle up and take this puppy for a test drive. You can also get this safety belt in red if you want to be stylish and safe at the same time. Visibility is a little limited on the passenger side. Of course, that's where the raised compartment is, and it's pretty much the same way on all Class 5 trucks. But the power adjustable mirrors are nice. The convex mirrors are nice and high. You can see pretty well around your truck. Acceleration feels good. Going up this hill, no problems at all. Got plenty of power. The brakes feel nice and smooth. You feel like you're in control of this truck. I mean, it really drives like a pickup truck. You would not hardly know that you were in a Class 5 truck compared to some of the others that we've tested. We're gonna hit some pretty rough construction roads right now, so we'll see how this thing feels as far as ride quality goes. Feels pretty good. I mean, it's a Class 5 truck. You're not expecting to be in a Cadillac, but it feels pretty good. And then this is the 6-speed Aisin transmission. Ford's gone to the 10-speed, and when you're driving one of the Fords, it does feel like it's shifting a lot. I don't really feel that as much with the Aisin transmission. We just pulled a pretty steep grade right there, and no problems with this Cummins engine. Good feel on the turning radius, good feel on acceleration. You really feel like you're in control of this truck. You've got the hands-free calling, which is a great safety feature. Plus you've got cruise control and additional controls that are right on your steering wheel. And then as far as stopping power goes, it feels pretty good. Overall, I would say a very comfortable ride. You really feel like you are in good control of this truck. It's not a truck that you feel like you're fighting it to keep it on the road. I think this would be, if you've got to put 30,000 or more miles on a truck in a year, traveling around the country fixing heavy equipment, this would be a comfortable option for you. Look, guys are checking us out left and right in this thing.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. So that's a little bit more information on the Ram 5500. Thanks for taking some time to walk through this with me. Congratulations to Ram. You've made this product a lot more upfitter friendly over the last couple of years. In the years gone past, when we sold a Ram, the production guys were like, oh no, because Fords were so easy to update and we did so many of them. Today, we built this truck about half the time that we would normally spend on an upfit has been cut out with the advancements that you've provided us. So thank you very much, Ram engineers. You've done a good job. And especially thank you to Chris Borzon from Ram, who took the time to educate me a little bit more on the product. I really appreciate it. Not too many chassis, high executive, big time engineers will spend time with us lowly upfitters. So I really appreciate it. If you want to learn more about the Ram 5500 for your next service truck, or a Ford, or anything else, call us. The best way to find what we're doing on a daily basis is on Instagram at QT Equipment, Facebook QT Equipment, or our website qtequipment.com. Work dirty, be happy. Until next time. Oh, these pants? Oh, these pants are these pants are the greatest. These are cool pants, and I got my first pair maybe a year ago, and after that I just bought like 5 more pairs, threw the rest of my pants away. There's some well-dressed homeless guys in Akron right now because all I will wear are these cool pants. The best part is that they've got this cell phone pocket right here. It's convenient, so you don't have to put your cell phone like in your front pocket or your back pocket. Bam, you got it right there. I mean, talk about life-changing pants. I got the thinner versions for when it's hot outside. I got the dress versions when I got to look nice. These are my thicker work ones, and then I've also got the flannel line pants. Yeah, they're fantastic. Cool should sponsor me. They should absolutely sponsor me. I mean, they've got a bunch of guys running around in the woods making campfires with backpacks, and I think that's all great, but you know, they don't have anybody repping their stuff that build custom work trucks. So cool, if you want to expand your horizons and get into the world of manly stuff, you have your people call my people. Well, I don't have people, but you can hit us up on Instagram.